Hello and welcome to Soap Secrets. We are back and we are starting with all things Coronation Street. And joining me is the wonderful Claire Ruck. Hi, Claire.
Hi, Hannah.
Okay, I've been waiting for this. It's Super Soap Week. Can we have like a drum roll? Can you do some nice kind of, sound effects at that point, please? Corrie is on for 5 nights this week, so you absolutely can't miss it. And of course, as we know, it's Super Soap Week. It's going to be brilliant, and Corrie never fails on this run. There's a big storm in Corrie. Of course there is. And tragedy is waiting round the corner.
There is. So firstly, I wanted to say that there is a death in the street this week. So somebody does die. Of course, nobody knows, obviously, apart from the writers and the actors. But we don't know who's going to die. But it's going to be a massive, massive week, and it's going to be a big character, Hannah. A really big character.
Is it?
It is. So there is a storm in Corrie, as we've said. Now, to set the scene, drug lord Harvey makes a dramatic return to the street. So we know that Harvey last week, his appeal was stopped because Sabine did something wrong, and so he wants out. He wants to escape prison, and he wants to come back, and he wants revenge on Leanne and Toya, who sent the incriminating texts off that stopped his appeal. So Dev, Addie, and Asher decide to go on a camping trip, and so they start off just as it's just sort of drizzling, a bit, and the storm takes hold and their car breaks down, Hannah. So they're on the side of the road now. They have called Kevin because they need help. They're lost. The car's broken down, and at the same time, Harvey is staging a prison break when being transported to hospital because he's given himself an injury, so that he can be in a van. And he's also paid, a rogue police prison officer to help him get free. So the van, the police van, crashes deliberately into Dev's car, and Harvey escapes. So
oh my gosh!
So we got the Our Hands car going up in a fireball. Now Dev gets out of the car, but both the twins, we've got Addie in the front seat, Asher in the back seat, and he has to do a Sophie's choice, Hannah. Which one does he?
Oh no, that's awful.
Save one, because who does he think is in more danger? So he has to pick a twin.
God, that's
before
awful.
The car goes up. It's a shocking scene.
I can, yeah. And that's not not the only thing, though, is it? Because, of course, and this storyline has gone away. I kind of had almost forgotten it was going on. But the Platt sinkhole that started the redevelopment of the cobbles, when that nasty Ray was around and trying to con the street, it never got fixed, did it?
No, it never got fixed. So that sinkhole has been there for virtually a year now. So as we remember, Ray paid someone from the water company to dig this sinkhole in an effort to try and buy the Platt's house a lot cheaper. Well, you should really fix the sinkhole, Hannah. Yeah. And so we've got it raining. It's tipping it down. It's it's lashing it down. Now, Debbie Webster, it's nearly Halloween. So in the run up to Halloween, Debbie has she's trying to sell more beer, and they're doing lots of things. So she's organised a House of Horrors attraction, which is a really nice thing. And as they are putting this House of Horrors attraction up, we see them bringing in huge kegs of beer, and they're dropping them on the ground. So as they drop these heavy kegs of beer on the ground, all of this shockwaves are reverberating, and it's raining, and there's a sinkhole. So there's an awful lot of unstable ground coming up. So we've got that now. So we have this sinkhole about to go, and so into this we have Abby. Now we all wanted to know what she spent the £2,000, and I talked about maybe she was spending it on food and somewhere to stay. Actually, she spent the £2,000, Hannah, on a gun. So she bought a gun off her ex Tez, and she's out to actually kill Corey. This is what she came back to the street for. She's going to kill Corey. Now, we have Harvey, who escaped from the prison van, and when Kevin pitched up with the breakdown van, he knocked Kevin out, stole the breakdown van, drove back to the cobbles, and we have Harvey now with a gun, determined to kill Leanne for ruining his life. Okay? Then we have Jenny desperately, in this big storm, desperately looking for her ex-hubby Johnny, who is missing in all the turmoil. So Johnny's moving away, and she just wanted to say goodbye to Johnny, and now she's worried about him, because while he might be her ex-husband, she's just, there's still a bit of love between them, and she doesn't want him to see him hurt. So we've got these three couples out there, and then with all this action going on, the sinkholes open at different times and different places, and Abby, Corey, Leanne, Harvey, Jenny and Johnny fall into this sinkhole and into the Victorian sewers running below.
Oh God! So you can only imagine what's going to happen here.
So you've got all of this going on. So, and you've got two guns down there as well, Hannah. This is just amazing. You've got two guns.
This is absolutely massive.
It is. So you've got all of those 6 people down in the Victorian sewers, and the rain is coming, and it's a storm. You know what happens. Water runs into sewers. There's so much rain, so the water is rising, and into this mix we have to add Shona. Now Shona, she doesn't always act in the most rational fashion, because she had that brain injury. She pops down a manhole cover trying to save Jenny and Johnny. So now we have 7 people in the sewers, with the rain still coming down, 2 guns down there, and a rising water. Will anyone survive?
Well, I don't know if anyone can possibly survive it. This reminds me of the train crash. This is just absolutely huge. And then the fallout of this for the next few weeks is going to be astronomical.
It is.
Wow, that's pretty hard to beat, Claire. I mean, we're going to talk about Emmerdale next. Now, to be honest with you, I mean, Emmerdale again, it really sort of pulls it out, doesn't it? But I mean, Corrie really has. I mean, it's fared pretty well during the whole of COVID, and this is just something else. But again, Super Soap Week, Emmerdale is going to bring to the table something great too. But of course, again, it's tragedy.
It is. So also, Emmerdale is also on 5 nights this week. So this is the only place you want to be, ITV.
Yeah.
Only place you want
the
to be.
only place you need to be.
And I mean, it's really hard to pick between the two. So Super Soap Week in Emmerdale, and tragedy also hits the village. Who survives and who dies? Now, last week we saw the beginnings of the survival challenge begin. We also, just to set the scene, we also know that last week Meena heard David tell Victoria he loved her. So, and we all know that Meena's obviously a serial killer, but she's insanely jealous of David and is really upset about Victoria. So as the survival challenge begins, and the participants jump into the rafts and set off down the river, just how will it end? And we start the week with a flash forward, and we see Meena lying lifeless in a maze. What happened and how did she get there? So they're doing lots of things in this survival challenge. They've got to, there's people going, orienteering through a wood. There's people in the river. We've got a maze. How do you get in and out of a maze? And as the day starts, so go back to where it all starts. As the day starts, Meena damages Victoria's harness. Now, Victoria and David, Manpreet, and Charles, they're the people in the water. They're rafting down the river. So Meena damages Victoria's harness, but Hannah, Manpreet, Meena's sister, picks it up. So So we do have that. So there's that going on now. It's all very confusing. As the rafters set off, the day takes a bad turn, and Victoria, David, Manpreet and Charles are left fighting for their lives. Now, Manpreet has the damaged harness.
Right.
And David watches in horror as Victoria is swept towards the waterfall. This is all,
Oh my gosh. There's a water theme going on as well.
And then when Meena catches up with Victoria and holds the lifeless chef underwater, someone is watching.
Oh, really?
Now, you have to ask why Priya and Ellis, who organised this day, aren't on walkie-talkies making sure everybody's all right. They've snuck off for a bit of nookie in the woods, which really is an organiser to the event they shouldn't be doing. So we have an awful lot of things going on. We also have Mac and Charity trying to slip away from the rest of the orienteers with the intention of cheating. But when Mac hears a loud scream, has Charity drowned in the pond?
Oh my goodness me, this is madness. And isn't there like a flash forward as well in this?
No. These are all the things that happened. The flash forward was just the bit where we saw Meena lying lifeless.
And that's it. Okay, there isn't.
Yeah.
We don't. It's not confusing in that sense. We keep going forward and back.
No. And there's going to be a couple of light moments. I think you have Marlon and Paddy arguing because they're lost in the woods, as only men can argue when they're lost in the woods. They're not,
and neither of them will ask for directions, of course. Oh my goodness me!
So we have anyone could be in danger. We have Victoria, David, Manpreet with the fiddled with harness, the damaged harness, and Charles in the water. Charity is missing in the pond, and Meena is stalking the person who saw her holding a lifeless Victoria under the water. So tragedy ensues and life will never be the same again.
So Victoria's gone, isn't she? There's no saving her.
Well, is she gone?
Oh.
We don't know, do we? I mean,
No.
anything could happen.
Well, lifeless body being held under the water, though. I mean, I'm just thinking.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, just being a betting woman and all that. Oh my goodness me, it really is unbelievable. So, I mean, yeah, like you say, there's ITV is a place to hang out this week, isn't it? What's Hollyoaks got up its sleeve?
So this week, Warren prepares to bid farewell to the village and do one final job with Fergus. Fergus, he's such a bad guy. And Warren. While in the middle of their job, they receive an anonymous warning, but who is it from? And Warren thinks it's from his former friend Felix. And when the drug operation goes wrong, Warren makes a promise to shut Felix up once and for all. Now, Felix had promised his girlfriend Martine that he will be there for her cancer operation, but he fails to turn up. Has Warren's body count just reached 8?
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, probably. And things go bad to worse though for Fergus, don't they?
Yeah. Somebody tries to hack into Operation Bluebird. Somebody has to get this Operation Bluebird needs to be blown wide open, doesn't it?
It really does now. This is enough's enough. I agree.
So obviously somebody knows about it. I mean, we did have Paul Perry last week realising that stalker Timmy had been watching her on camera. So who knows? Lots of kids can hack in, aren't they? You just need someone that's good with computers. So. And he's up to more nastiness this week because Tony and Diane move into the dog as the new management team. But Fergus forgot to tell the McQueens they are out of a job. How horrid's that?
Oh my, the poor McQueens.
I know. So they're out of the dog and Tony and Diane are now managing it.
I mean, and which of course is, I can't see any issue happening there given Tony and Diane's background. But anyway, okay, last but definitely not least, I feel like I've got no more, I don't know, oomph anymore. This is unbelievable. It's taken it all out of me this morning. EastEnders. So Harvey is in trouble this week.
Yes.
Isn't he?
Yes. So Dana's dad Harvey, he works for Kat driving a taxi, and Kat wades in into the argument between him and Ash over an unpaid taxi fare. Now, as we remember, Ash threw up in his cab. Now, this is a really big thing for cab drivers. You know, throwing up in your cab, you know, the smell of sick. Nobody wants to get into a cab.
Nobody.
Smelling of sick. And then also the poor cab drivers got to clean it up. So it is a big deal. And then later on another ride, he makes a racist comment towards Ash. And that's when she walked off without paying. So there's animosity between the two. And when Ash reveals what Harvey said, Kat promptly sacks him on the spot. Can Harvey make amends?
Well, do you know what? All of this just seems like a walk in the park in comparison to what we've been talking about before. But yeah, maybe he can, maybe he can't. But the part that I'm interested in is Gray, because Gray is spiralling.
It is. He gets news this week that his dad's died. Now, his dad had asked him a couple of weeks ago whether his temper was still out of control, and I don't think his dad was the greatest dad in the world. And so when he finds out his dad has died, this brings up all of his unpleasant memories from when he was growing up. And Gray tells Whitney that he didn't expect to be so cut up about his father's passing. It's odd. He didn't have a happy time with his dad, but he's still really upset that his dad has passed. You know, and Gray and Whitney share a tender moment. And Gray kisses Whitney, Hannah. This is where he wants to be.
Oh, this is where we always knew we were going to end up, and the bit that we really didn't want to happen.
And later, Karen is over the moon to see them together. You know, Karen, I think Chantel was her daughter. She has no idea that Gray killed her daughter. You know, but she's always been his greatest champion, and she wants. You know, and I think this is a really brave and good thing for her to do. She, you know, obviously she thinks her daughter died in a horrific accident, but she wants her son-in-law to move on with his life and to find happiness, and for her grandchildren to find stability. So I think, you know, this only shines a light on Karen, how good she is. But when she finds out, and she must at some point find out that Gray killed her daughter, you know, she will go up like Mount Vesuvius, I'm sure. Is this the calm before the storm with Gray? Because, you know, he's spiralling, and, you know, Christmas is coming. So, you know, we need a big Christmas storyline, Hannah.
I mean, the wheels have got to come off. I mean, they've kind of felt like they should have been coming off for quite a while, and they sort of probably have been wobbly for a while. But this really, you know, Gray can't carry on like this. He's not a Warren, is he? Like we've talked about in Hollyoaks. It's just not that kind of character. It's just not going to work out. The guys are slipped, everything. It's all ending. That's it. Wow, what a week, Claire. What a week. It's absolutely amazing. I can't wait to watch them all. Thank you for that. If everybody, I feel completely like I've been run over myself now and need to kind of have a big glass of water. But we will be back next week and, trying to deal with the aftermath of all of that. Thanks for listening.